All right, welcome back to the show. As you can see, we are joined by three of the best head coaches in North Texas. We have Randy Allen from Highland Park. We have new Brewer coach Todd Peterman and Reginald Samples from Duncanville in the building. First of all, thank you guys so much for being here, being a part of our North Texas Honda Dealers Inside Story. All right, Randy, I want to start with you kicking things off. We showed your state championship. What a game, what a finish. That was one of the best games I've ever been a part of covering high school football earlier. Right after that game, you decided to announce your retirement. Then you decided to come back, and I want to know what that was like for you, what made you decide to retire, and then what made you decide to come back to Highland Park for this season?
Well, I came back because I missed the players and missed the coaches and missed the love of the competition and the impact that you have as a coach on young men. And I kind of flirted with the idea that I couldn't do any better. I mean, we had a great state championship game, and we had won 2 in a row, and you know, you kind of flirt around with the idea that maybe you don't want to go out on top, you know, winning your last game, but that didn't become as important as my love for the players and the coaching staff and getting back in the competition.
No question, and with the talent you have coming back, no one could blame you too. You do have quite a bit to work with at Highland Park this season. Todd, I want to get to you now and your decision to go from DeSoto to Brewer and what that transition has been like for you, because those are two very different programs, but from our conversation, it seems like you're real comfortable with what's happened so far already at Brewer.
It's been great. It's been a real seamless transition, and blessed to have, you know, be a part of a school district with a great school board and great administration that are all on the same page and have made things real easy. I think we brought about 21 total people over from DeSoto to Brewer, and so it's been a pretty seamless transition.
Yeah, I was going to say that can help that process, no question about it, bringing those 21 people over from a winning program like DeSoto. Reginald, for you guys, last year you were in the District of Doom, you know, and you went undefeated. I mean, you handled it okay. I want to know for you this season how last year within a new district now, how your players going through something like that a year ago can help them, you think, this year going forward.
Well, I think last year was really great for our overall mental status as a team. The way we ended the year wasn't the way we planned it. So the kids are really motivated to get back to where we were. The thing that I'm most proud of is this will be my 4th year at at Duncanville, and this will be a year where I'll have my first freshman class that will be seniors. So I feel real good about having those kids in the program that have been with me for 4 years.
Yeah, there's no question. You can notice that too. The guys who have been in your system, your philosophy for 4 straight years, that makes a big difference. Now, for Randy, for you, you have to replace John Stephen Jones, a quarterback, you know, a guy who was obviously fantastic the last 2 state championship runs. In comes Chandler Morris, you know, and I'd heard a lot about him. Then I watched him in the spring game and I said, that guy can play. What have you seen from Chandler Morris, and how do you possibly fill the leadership void, not just from John Stephen being gone, but from the other seniors that had won 2 straight state titles?
Well, Chandler is an outstanding athlete, and of course he's been around football all of his life because his daddy was, you know, has been the head coach at a lot of high schools and now the head coach at the University of Arkansas. And so he's thrown the football and he's been around it, so he understands the game, and it's very important to him, and he practices hard all the time in the off season. So he's got the skill set. But what made John Stephen great is he was a team player, and we had great players around him, or good players around him that made the team better. And I think that's a thing that Chandler needs, is more experience, and he needs a good team around him, which we have some young men that are really working hard to build that good team around him.
And he'll get that experience early. Y'all have a tough test the first couple weeks of the season, but then you should be ready to go at district time. Now, Todd, for you, we talked a minute ago about what you brought coaching-wise from DeSoto to Brewer. I want to know what you hope your players pick up, though. From what are you bringing with football-wise from DeSoto to Brewer? What can you hope that guys pick up quickly on your team this season?
A lot of it is confidence and knowing that they can get to the next level. And if you have a bunch of coaches that have been part of a state championship, or in our case, multiple state championships with Coach Al, who we got from Coach Allen here, fortunately, you know, it's a mindset. And the kids believe they can win because they've got coaches that have won state championships. And it's just, you know, part of a cultural change. And DeSoto's been very successful. Brewer's been very successful in years past with Ben Davis, who's one of our school board members. And most of their kids are coming through now, part of the group that went 3 and 4 rounds in the playoffs. So they want that, and they're eager for it, and they hunger for it, and that's what we plan to bring.
And bringing that state title cred makes a big difference too, because those kids will be listening to that, no doubt about it. Finally, Reginald, I want to know from you too. Your defense is one of the things I'm really excited about watching this season. You have a lot of talent there, especially in that secondary. What have you been seeing from your defense, and what are your expectations for your defense this year?
Well, actually, we do have a good secondary, but they're the only ones that are returning. So, we get a lot of attention in the secondary, but I'm more concerned about those 7 guys we got to replace up front. And it's been a task. The kids are working hard, but we've got a lot of newcomers, and we're going to wait to see how successful they'll be.
You know what they say, though, that if a secondary is good, it makes the defensive line better, right? It'll help out, covering and rushing the passer. All right, we have much more with these guys in just a sec. Don't go anywhere. When we return, we'll have more of them and find out who they think this year's dark horse teams might be in North Texas. We'll be right back. Welcome back. The high school football season is almost here. I want to talk dark horses with our coaching panel here. Teams that are talented, might be flying under the radar, though. So first, let's start with you, Randy Allen. What is a team you think that people are not giving enough credit to in the preseason before the year begins?
Well, it's hard to call these teams dark horses, but Legacy, Mansfield Legacy, Denton Ryan, and Frisco Lone Star. We play 2 of those teams, one in pre-district, one in district, so they're really talented.
Legacy's interesting to me. Jalen Catalon might be the best football player I've seen in a long time. What's it like going against a guy like that?
Well, we played him when he was a sophomore, and he made every tackle, I think, from free safety, and he's a great player.
All right, Todd, you're in a new situation now at Brewer, but I know you have some teams that people are probably going to not be paying attention to. What's a surprising team that you think is going to emerge this season?
I think Red Oak High School.
Okay.
They hired Coach Ross, who's going to come in and do a great job. Hired our assistant head coach, Courtney Sterling. It's going to be a great addition to their staff. And they have some talent there, and I think they'll get the best out of their kids.
For you, is it hard going into this situation when you have a new schedule the way that you do right now? I mean, you know who's good, but you may not know who's rebuilding and coming back. What's that like as a new coach?
We're just worrying about us right now. I couldn't tell you anything about anybody we're going to play right now. I can tell you about Brewer, and that's it.
Yeah.
So we're going to worry about us, and worry about Eaton, game week.
Right, that's a big deal for you. All right, Coach Samples, I want to know for you, what's a team that you're looking at in the year ahead that you think is flying under the radar right now that's going to be better than people think?
Well, I got a chance to watch South Oak Cliff. That's one of our second ball games, and that's all I ever watch is teams that are on my schedule early in the year. And I was really impressed with the job that Coach Jason Todd is doing over there. He's one of my former assistants at Skyline, and I'm just really impressed with the way that his kids are carrying themselves, and they play really hard.
Yeah, how do you prepare for a team that's as talented as that? I mean, because sometimes when a team's talented that way, you just got to say, hey, we're going to do the best we can, but they're pretty good.
Yeah, you said it. You just got to go out and play hard. Let it happen on the field. They have a lot of talent, a lot of Division I players, and we're excited about playing them.
It's going to be a lot of fun to watch this high school football season, and these 3 guys are going to have teams that are going to be fascinating to watch. I want to thank all 3 of you for being in studio with me today to help get the season going. I'm hoping we'll be talking to all 3 of y'all come December time, right, in the playoffs, and you have some success this year. Thank you guys for being here today.